Girl, I know that you are tired of living a life less than what God created you to be. When you look around your life and the person that you know you're meant to be and the life that's around you don't line up, I really do think it is time to make a change, and it's a sign of mediocrity. Living a mediocre life is not going to get you anywhere. You're going to lose time, you're going to have regret, and you're going to lose a lot of opportunities that you could have had if you were going for it, if you're more intentional. Hey, lovely, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, here we grow and glow. We are going for the things that we know we can do. So if you're ready to glow and grow with us, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and make sure you leave a comment of any tips, anything that you want to share with the community so we can all grow together. What is a mediocre life? What is living in mediocrity? Really, you have to get a reality check if you want to change. And the reality check is knowing what exactly this is for you. And I'm going to give you a definition, but this could look so different for you. This could look different for the people around you, but you have to define what mediocrity looks like for your life in order for you to change. I would define living a mediocre life is as accepting a life that is less than who you are, less than who you're created to be. It's choosing comfort over growth, and it's letting fear drive your decision, letting the fear of failure, fear of rejection, just really fear of uncertainty drive your life. And we know that God did not give us the spirit of fear, but He gave us the spirit of love, power, and self-discipline. So we know that this is not of us. We know that this is not who we are. So you have to start at that point saying, I do not have the spirit. I am not this person. This is not who I am. And then you can move forward to taking the steps to get yourself out of this. So you have to understand that you were not given the spirit. This is not who you are. You're meant to have love, power, and self-discipline. So living a mediocre life is none of this. And if you want to live a life of intention, a life of passion, you have to understand that, am I walking in love? Am I walking in power? Am I walking in discipline? There are 3 big signs to look out for to know if you are living a mediocre life or your life is just kind of going in circles. And these 3 signs can really help you identify where you need to attack, where you need to go so that you can move forward. The first sign is that you are living on autopilot. You're going through the motion, whether it's waking up, going to work, doing the same thing over again, or whether it's seeing the same people, talking the same way, behaving the same way. It's just these things that are on autopilot. And honestly, you have to take responsibility for some of it. And then also you have to know that your brain does this on purpose. Our brain wants to automate our whole life because when you automate something, you make it easier. Your brain's main goal is to keep you safe. And when something is automated, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to expend energy on it. So your brain can keep that energy when you have to run away from a tiger. Your brain always tries to conserve energy so that it keeps you alive. You have to understand that 50% of the time, your brain's doing this. And the other percent of the time, you are also deciding. Understanding why you're on autopilot, understanding and seeing the things that are on autopilot in your life. Maybe you have a routine that you just always do and it keeps you comfortable, but that routine is keeping you in the same place. Maybe it's the way you eat. You're just on autopilot, go to McDonald's, go to Chick-fil-A and eat the same thing. Maybe it's the people that are around you. You just autopilot, you hang out with the same people. Maybe it's the people that you follow. It's just on autopilot, you do the same things. Are those things serving you or not? You have to ask that. The second sign of mediocrity is avoiding challenges or staying in your comfort zone. Your brain wants to keep you safe, so it's going to push you to stay in the same places. Brain doesn't know the difference between being in physical danger and just being in emotional danger or maybe feeling rejection. This keeps you from doing uncomfortable things because your brain thinks you're about to be killed. You can override this. You have to be mature enough to know that I have to take steps to override this comfort. When you're always afraid to do something new, always afraid to push out of your comfort zone, this is a huge sign of living a midlife. You will never push forward. The last sign that you're living a mediocre life is lack of fulfillment and joy. This is a huge one. If you're consistently looking around and you're not happy with your life or even content or even just excited about anything in your life, that's a huge sign that you're living a midlife. Because if you don't have any fulfillment, nothing to look forward to, and you're just kind of going through it again on autopilot, you just stay in the same places, then what's the point? You kind of get in this rut. One of the biggest things that brings lack of fulfillment, lack of just joy and excitement is that you have nothing to look forward to. Have a vision, then I'm living a mediocre life. Because honestly, when you don't have a vision for your life, like, you're not setting yourself up for anything. Where are you going? What direction are you going? You're just floating, just existing. And we're meant to live, not just exist and float. We have purpose. We can think, we can drive, we can do things, we can have a full life. Now that we know the 3 signs of mediocrity, let's talk about how to get out of the hamster wheel of mediocrity, how to really move forward, how to create passion, intention, how to really get yourself to the next level. The first step to getting out of a mediocre life is to have a growth mindset. A growth mindset is The way you look at your life, instead of saying this is it, you see that there's more. A growth mindset does not take life as is. A growth mindset does not settle. It's not settling for what you have. It's saying, you know what? I'm grateful for what I have, but I also know God has more for me. God has more love, more passion, more opportunities, more relationships, just more fulfillment, knowing that there's more. It's not fixed. It's not like what I got is what I got. That is a fixed mindset. That is not a growth mindset. So getting out of this hamster wheel, out of doing the same thing, out of autopilot, is knowing that I can get out. There's more out there for me. This is not it. One of the things that keep us in the same place is thinking that this is it. Because if you think I'm where I'm supposed to be, then you're not going to move forward. But if you know there's more, I got to go after it, there's more for me, then you are going to step into that direction and you're going to move forward. So having a growth mindset is saying there's more for me. This is not it. This is not what God has for me. God has more, because God wants us to level up. He wants to take us from glory to glory to glory until he comes back. So you have to understand that I have more. What are the things that you need to start doing? How can you adopt this mindset? Maybe you know that maybe there's an opportunity for me at work, maybe in my relationship. Maybe I know that this relationship I have right now is not it. Maybe I can make my relationship better. Maybe I can make better friends. What is more for you? How can you have a growth mindset in your life right now? The second way for you to get out of a mediocre life is to get uncomfortable. If it doesn't scare you a little bit, it's not going to grow you, just a little bit. Your brain does not know the difference between you being chased by a tiger and you just like feeling nervous. It does not understand those things. Your brain equates those things because to it, it's the same feeling. It's the same chemical reaction that happens when you're being chased by a tiger versus when you're getting rejected. This should give you a lot of freedom because you're able to just say, oh, my brain is doing its job. That means this is pushing me. It's growing me. What is it that you have to do to get out of your comfort zone? Get out of your comfort zone in a healthy way. I'm not saying go put yourself in unhealthy, toxic situations. I'm saying go push yourself a little bit, little by little. What do you have to do? A way for you to do this is to know that change is not convenient. One of the biggest things about staying in our comfort zone is that it's convenient to stay there. We know it, it's comfortable, it's on autopilot, we don't have to think, we could just go. But if you want change, if you truly have vision for your life, if you see more, you start to have that growth mindset, you have to be inconvenienced. Change and convenience do not go together because change and comfort don't go together. And comfort is all about convenience. You cannot live a life that is passionate and that is full without having inconvenience. One way or another, you're going to have to talk to someone you don't want to talk to. You're probably going to have to end that relationship or start a new relationship. You're probably going to have to make decisions that you don't want to make. One way or another, there's going to be inconveniences. So if you learn to embrace them and know that this is part of the process, you are going to thrive. You're not going to be bothered by inconvenience. You're just going to accept it and know that it is part of me changing. It is part of me growing. The work that I'm putting in right now will create convenience later. If you want to have a convenient, comfortable, soft life later, by all means. But right now, when you're just starting, you can't have that. So you have to know that convenience comes later after you've set yourself up for success. And that's what I'm going for. I want to put the work in right now. I want to put the work in my 20s. I want to really grind and really push towards growth so that when later in life, I can have the good things. I can have the finer things in life because I put in the work, because I was able to sacrifice convenience and go for change. What are the things that you have been on autopilot on, the things that you have been doing automatically that you can maybe start doing intentionally? That's a great way to step out of your comfort zone. Maybe you eat the same things all the time. Maybe try one new meal. Maybe try a new restaurant. Maybe try going to bed a little earlier because it's on autopilot for you to go to bed late. Or maybe it's on autopilot for you to be on your phone all night. Maybe put your phone down. That is uncomfortable because you don't know what that is. So it doesn't have to be something big and scary. It could be something small that's going to get you out of this autopilot, out of this mediocre life. So what are the things that you don't do that you can try doing to get you moving forward? That is what getting out of your comfort zone is. The third way for you to stop living a mediocre life is to see failure as feedback, not a verdict. And this means that you see failure has a lesson. All failure does is give you a feedback. When you have a hard time with failure, when you have a fear of failure, or you take failure really, really bad, it's going to keep you in the same place. It's going to keep you in that mediocre spin and that autopilot because you're not going to want to try new things. That feeling that you get when you fail, it's the same feeling that your brain feels when it's in fight, flight, or freeze. You have to understand that and see that when I fail, my brain is just trying to protect me. This has been really helpful for me because when I started this channel, and I really wanted to just go at it and do it, and I was afraid of failing, so I stopped. And then I started again and I stopped. I started again and I stopped. And I kept just saying, you know what? I tried, it didn't work out. I got nothing. Nobody watched, nobody liked anything. And I kept stopping. And I was just trying to protect myself from feeling that again. But once I started to accept the fact that every time I do something, every time I didn't get the views, every time nobody clicked, like, what is that telling me? What's happening? What is that feedback? Maybe I need to change my subject. Maybe I need to change my thumbnails. Maybe I need to try another topic. Maybe I just need to try a whole different type of channel altogether. I had to see it as feedback instead of a verdict, and that kept me pushing. When you're a new creator, it's very, very hard. You're only getting a certain amount of feedback. You're not getting that much feedback. So the 50 views, the 100 views that you get, that's all the feedback you get. So are you going to use that feedback as I failed, or are you going to use that feedback as what can I do different? How can I learn from this and move forward? That's what you need to do if you want to change and move into the next level. See failure as feedback, not as a verdict. The other way that has helped me to really see this is think back to like my math class in high school, college, when I just didn't do very good on a project or a test or anything like that. And my teacher would write corrections on the paper, and they gave me the opportunity to redo and get a better score. For them to do that, that was giving me feedback as to what I can do better. They weren't saying that this is your final grade, you suck, you're done. No, they were telling me, okay, this is what you can improve on, this is what the answers are, this is what you need to do it again, try again, and then turn it back in, and you're gonna get a better grade. And you did that, you got a better grade. That's the way that we need to see failure as. It's feedback, it's a teacher, it's giving us signs as what can we do better, how can we change direction, how can we pivot, instead of saying this is it. Failure is not the end all be all, it's not set in stone, it's feedback. The fourth way for you to get out of mediocre life and just start living a life of intention is to have a fun and exciting vision for your life. And a vision, like we talked about earlier, gets you excited. We're built to have vision. We're built to create goals and move forward. We're meant to grow and accelerate and push. God wants us to push. He gives us vision. He has good plans for our lives. He has good goals for our lives. And he wants us to move in that direction. So when you're living the mediocre life, you're just kind of living for what is right now. That's it. Nothing else. Settle for just what you have. And getting out of that means seeing that there's more out there and I want to go after it, and writing that down and setting that vision. And a vision excites you. And it doesn't have to be this big grand life vision. It could just be for the next 90 days, the next month, so that you can start getting excited, especially if you're just getting up, if you're just moving forward and you're just starting your growth journey. Starting with a 90-day vision is perfect because it's simple and also it's not overwhelming. One of the things about creating a vision is you have to write it down. You have to get it out of your head because there's a lot that happens in your head. Put it to pen and paper in your notes app or wherever you write things down. You can create a vision that is based out of different categories in your life. What vision do I have for my physical, emotional, mental, financial, spiritual, relational, like all of those things? You can take those and create different categories and write in each, how do I see myself in the next 90 days? One of my visions for the next 90 days is to continually growing in my relationship with God, spending 30 minutes to an hour every single day in the Word, praying or worshiping, whatever that day brings, is just spending that time with God. And I think I've talked about it in my other videos, is I take the first 30 minutes of my lunch to read my Bible, to journal, to just be with God and listen to His Word, or sing or pray or cry, whatever I need to lay down at His feet, whatever He has for me that day, I will do. So that is the vision that I have for myself spiritually. Relationally, for me, it's becoming more intentional with dates with my husband, spending more time with him, and how can we plan ahead dates? How can we add things to the calendar so that we're intentional? Because we're both busy and sometimes we work opposite schedules. So how can I be intentional relationally? And then also for fun goals for my own personal self-care goals is I'm really excited about my 25th birthday. So planning that has been exciting. It's literally a month away, so I'm really excited. But that's just been a fun goal, a fun vision to look forward to. And as you can see, all of these things I'm excited about. I want these to happen. I'm looking forward to them. And this just gets me moving. Having vision, whether it's simple, has just, I want to go for a walk every single day. Or you know what? I'm going to take myself out for a solo date once a week or once a month. Or I'm going to go fly out and see my friend. Or I'm going to take a drive. Or I'm going to go climb a mountain. Whatever that thing is for you, set that. You know, a goal, a vision, however you want to see it, it gets you excited. It gets you up and moving. What is it that you can look forward to? Something small. Maybe you're starting college. Look forward to your classes. Look forward to making new friends. Look forward to starting a new club. What is it that you can look forward to in this season of your life so that you can get out of living a mediocre life? The fifth and last way for you to get out of a mediocre life is to change your environment and surround yourself with growth-centered or growth-focused people. The people that are in your life can either hold you back or push you forward. The biggest signs to how your life is going to go is the people that are around you, because people influence you. You may say, I don't like people and I don't care what people think. Yes, you do. You really do. You don't have a choice. You just do. That's how humans work. So knowing that and being mature about that and saying that is fact and really being intentional about the people that are in your life is going to help you. If the people in your life are doing the same thing, they're also in the autopilot, they're in the mediocre stage, they're just living a very nonchalant life, and those are the people you're around, and you look around and you see your life isn't going anywhere, you might have to step back and evaluate, okay, maybe my environment, maybe the people around me could be one of those things that I need to change. And this is not saying cut off your friends. This is saying maybe step back a little bit. Maybe trying to see who else can you hang out with. Maybe there are people out there you see online, or maybe those friends in high school that, are going to the gym and, they become gym rats and blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's the person that you want to hang out with. Like, you have to start seeing the fact that people influence your life. You can't be ignorant about that. And ignorance does not help you. Ignorance keeps you in the mediocre stage. How can I change my relationships, whether it's having a conversation or it's setting boundaries or it's really stepping away from the friends or it's just cutting those people off? Whatever you have to do for your situation, you need to do it so that you don't stay in the same place. You get to choose who's around you. And this is something that I strongly believe. The people that are in your life are your choice. Nobody is forcing you to be friends with those people. Nobody is forcing you to see them. You are choosing to. We stay with the same friends because we're comfortable with them. They know us. We've known them. Like, it's easy. It's a lot harder to find new friends, especially when you're older. But if you want to get out of a mediocre life, you have to find people who are centered on becoming the person that you want to be, people who are centered on growth. I would also say be with people who are just have what you want that you don't have yet. I'm not saying be jealous of them, be envious of them. I'm saying use them as inspiration, because when you're around people who have what you want, it's going to push you, it's going to motivate you. And again, not in a toxic way, not in an envious, jealousy way, just a healthy, these people inspire me, I want to be around them, I want to learn from them, I want them to mentor me. The other thing we have to consider with people around you and you growing is that people will not grow at the same rate as you, or you will be growing, people may stay the same. The people around you may not be moving at the same pace that you are. They may not have the same vision that you have created for your life. Maybe you just created a 90-day vision and the people in your life don't care about it. That is going to happen, and it may be disappointing because you want people to move at the same pace that you are, or you want people to be on board and get excited for you and with you. They may not be excited for you or with you. They may not even care. They may even just be mad or ticked off about it because you are changing and they are not. So you have to understand that, and you have to be mature enough to know that part of this journey may be solo for a little bit until I find the right people. Biggest thing too, you have to communicate with the people around you that, hey, I'm changing, I'm moving forward, and you can come with me, or you know what, you can stay where you are. And you can word that differently, but you have to communicate and saying, I'm doing this, whether it's a goal, I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm trying to go to bed on time, or whatever that thing is. Communicate them, especially if you're in a relationship. You have to communicate that with your other person, because it's just going to change the whole game. To communicate with my husband, like, hey, I want to go to bed early. I love our movie nights, but I want to go to bed early. And, and it helps him know what's happening, really helps both of us because we're in communication. It's creating a healthy relationship if I communicate what I want and also set boundaries with myself and follow through with them. If I say I want to go to bed early and I don't go to bed early, like, what's the point? You want to create a space with the people around you so that you can thrive in your new life. That is all I have for you in this video, my friend. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment if you have anything else that you want to share, any other ways that you're getting out of your mediocre stage and moving forward. Let us know in the comments. If you want to continue to grow and glow with this community, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, my friend. Bye.